well, fishers. Not a great day today as far as the weather patterns coming through, and it looks like it could be a bit of a crappy weekend, but who cares? The fish are still biting, and we'll have some sunny days very shortly. Well, we're getting some pretty good reports from all around the place. Just talking to Meso again down Compleat in Lavington, and he tells me that dart's still pretty consistent. We're happy with that. Most of the fish getting caught down there are getting caught flatlining, but look, if you want to do a bit of down rigging or lead lining, they're still getting some consistent catches. The ideal time to do that's when it's glassy, calm, nice and sunny. But what we've got at the moment down there, and I reckon it would be today too, overcast. They'll be up the top most of the time, and that could be the case for the weekend as well. So it looks pretty promising. Getting some reports from the Hume Weir. This week was a little bit quieter than the last couple of weeks, which was a bit disappointing. What happened was in the last couple of weeks, been a lot of big browns getting caught around the main basin up the Tallangatta Arm. This week there was a few caught, but not as good. There was also a few redfin caught, just bobbing in about 20 to 30 metres of water, which is unusual for the Hume Weir. They're normally not that deep. But where all the excitement is there at the moment is just below the Weir wall, getting some very nice trout down there, casting heavier type lures, your Tassie style lures, that sort of thing, are covering the options exceptionally well. Talking to the Mulwala crew, and they tell me that there's a bit of activity down there. Been a bit patchy this week again, probably because of the inconsistent weather patterns, which is pretty normal with fishing. Whether it be cod or trout, it doesn't seem to matter. High barometers usually get a fair bit of activity happening, or a spike up and down seems to kick it right into gear. Where I'm getting a bit of excitement from, quite a bit of excitement actually, is Blowering Dam. A lot of reports of big cod. Now, keeping in mind there's a lot of hours between them, I've got to mention that, I've got to emphasise that. But if you put as many hours in there as you do anywhere else, you'll catch just as many big cod, I can assure you of that. Surface lures, swim baits, big soft plastics, any or all of the above will work nicely. Don't forget though, the old trolling with hard bodies and the big spinner baits, they'll work just as well. Just got to find the fish and you'll get them. Plenty of redfin. Again, most of the reddies are down in deeper water around that sort of 40, 50, 60 foot mark. Bobbing with worms is as good as anything, but you'll pick quite a few of them up, basically just bobbing with ice jigs, blades, soft plastic, anything like that. Walking the bank, casting lures, quite a few trout. Don't forget the old-fashioned spoons. They work exceptionally well on trout, and you'll get a few yellow belly maybe up there too. So a fair bit of action there. Now, into the Murrumbidgee River. We've got our maximum flows coming down at the moment for this, call it what you will, environmental irrigation type flows, doesn't really matter what it is. We've got a lot of water coming down. Went and had a look this morning, and there's a bit of swirly colour in it, still clear enough to spin, easy enough to put your boats in, no problem at all. Just be aware when you're getting around, there's a lot of structure in different places that you wouldn't be used to, but it's certainly worth the effort. If you're going to put cray pots in, put them in the backwaters or off muddy banks. Try not to put them in the major current flow. You'll lose your cray pots unless you're using real heavy ones. Keep that one in mind. So there's a bit of activity there. The height of the river will stay the same for the next few days, then it'll start to graduate down. Probably another couple of weeks and we'll be back to normal. So it doesn't look too bad actually. And Bundagerry Channel, Old Man Creek looks quite promising at the moment. There'll be a fair bit of activity there. Don't forget though, if you're having a bit of a look around down the creek, just take it easy when you're wandering down there. Flick a few lures around, but it could get a bit slippery off the banks if the creek comes up and down. This is the Compleat Anglers Fishing Report for this week. We'll catch you next week.